speakers that showed up today. I think this really shows solidarity and the resilience of the opposition here in this province. A lot of people may be up to speed on Energy East, but I just want to highlight three major points about why this pipeline project, the largest pipeline project proposed for North America ever, why the risk is just too great for our province. The first is the risk to our waterways. The second is the risk to climate change, and three is the fact that this is an export pipeline. There's no added value here in Canada. It's basically taking raw materials and exporting it outside of our country. So first, this is a tar sands bitumen pipeline. It's not conventional oil. And for anyone who's read about what happened in the North Saskatchewan River last summer and the Kalamazoo River in Michigan back in 2010, it acts very differently when the bitumen, which is diluted with very volatile solvents, when it hits water. What happens, about 30 to 40% of the chemicals are the dilutant materials. They volatilize immediately. They vaporize into the air, leaving the tar sands bitumen. What happens are two things. The volatile chemicals that are released into the air create a life-threatening environment for any homeowners, cottage owners along the affected waterways. Time is of the essence. There has to be early warning systems. There has to be immediate emergency evacuation, or else, because a lot of these solvents like benzene are neurotoxic, you may want to flee the scene, but your body won't allow you to. For our country to be proposing such a long, expansive tar sands pipeline through our communities without proper public meetings, without proper maps, without a proper environmental impact assessment here in New Brunswick is more than wrong. It's irresponsible when you're dealing with such a grave public safety issue. So what's left is the tar sands bitumen in the water. It starts forming small tar balls, and unfortunately they sink into the water, and the tar sands is like asphalt, and it sticks aggressively to the bottom sediment of the river. You can imagine the problems they've had with river systems. What would happen in the Bay of Fundy? There are over 280 super tankers proposed to export the bitumen each and every year. That's a greatly increased risk for not only the Bay of Fundy, the most treacherous tides in the world, but also the endangered North Atlantic right whale that lives there. The livelihoods of all the fisheries would be in tremendous jeopardy, and not to mention the tourism. So secondly is that this is an export pipeline. No matter what the politicians try to tell you about how it's going to be refined in this province, it's simply not true. When you look at TransCanada's own information that they submitted to the National Energy Board, you can add up the 281 supertankers. Their capacity equals to over 80% of the tar sands bitumen that's going to be brought through the pipeline. So over 80% of the material in this pipeline is already called for in agreements with exporters. It's going to refineries in Louisiana, in New Jersey, and Texas. And it's raw material. It's not going to create jobs here. It's certainly not going to be refined in St. John. The Irvings simply do not want to spend the billions of dollars in an upgrade to produce a refinery that can refine tar sands bitumen in any quantity. And third but not least is climate change. The expansion of the tar sands would be a given. If you built the Energy East pipeline. It's going to lock in place tar sands infrastructure for 40 years. We don't have 40 years. Our young people, my daughter does not have 40 years. And we are going to overshoot our climate change targets by 2030 by at least 30% if the Energy East pipeline is built. We are on target for not meeting our Paris Agreement promises. We're on target for runaway climate change way past 2 degrees Celsius if we continue building tar sand pipelines. So what's the solution? As Alma Brooks mentioned, we really need to move forward with renewables, with efficiency, and let's get with the other jurisdictions around the world and create a lot of local prosperity and tons of jobs with the new economy. That really is the future. And our politicians have to be told again, we want jobs now, and we want a future for all of our people, including our children. Thank you very much.
Yay.